your snacking routine can get a little dull. Time for a light and fit remix. Like a crunchy storm of graham cookies, caramel pearls, and dark chocolate, showering down into a smooth, creamy yogurt. Enjoy 3 light and fit remix varieties with craveable flavors and up to 120 calories and 10 grams of protein per 4.5-ounce serving. See remixyogurt.com.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
Good morrow, everyone. This is The Other Side of Midnight on 77 WABC. I'm Frank Morano. There was a lot of news about the mayor's race yesterday. The news that got the most attention was that Andrew Cuomo appears to be leading in the polling. Couple of things about this. One, he was leading with 32% of the vote. He also, though, has the highest negatives out of any of the other Democrats in the field. Now, why is that important? Because in a ranked choice voting election, the people that don't like Cuomo, which is almost 70% of those polled, they are not going to rank Cuomo first, second, third, fourth, or fifth. So even though Cuomo finished first in this poll, don't be fooled. This is not a good news poll for Cuomo because unless he's over 50%, he might as well be at 0. Because with ranked choice voting, if they're not for Stringer, they're for Lander. If they're not for Lander, they're for Adams. If they're not for Adams, they're for Ramos. You get it. They're not going to be ranking Cuomo at all. So the fact that his negatives are so high is something to be on the lookout for. The other interesting aspect of the mayor's race that came out yesterday is that Jim Walden, a prominent New York lawyer who's running for mayor on an anti-corruption platform, he raised about $630,000 for his campaign, which is a sizable haul for a first-time candidate. Walden's $630,000 puts him in a very interesting position as compared to the other candidates. Now, the fact that he's not a registered Democrat, I think, makes it unlikely that he's going to be in a Democratic primary. I don't see them giving what they call a Wilson Pakula to him. If Curtis wasn't running, I could see the Republicans maybe trying to do something with him, but I don't see him making any headway in a Republican primary either. Now, I love that he's running. I think we need more prominent independents running for mayor. But I think if you're going to run as an independent for mayor, you need to find a way to spend $20, $30, $40, $50 million, and then maybe you'll have the media take you seriously and have the resources necessary for a general election. Even if he gets to the point of $4, $5, $6 million, unfortunately, it's very challenging for a third-party candidate in any city, but especially in New York. If New York had nonpartisan elections, as I wish we would, then it would be a different ballgame. But I think Walden has brought some contributions to this race. I wasn't crazy about how he handled the whole situation with Governor Patterson, and I got an earful from Governor Patterson about that the other night. But in spite of that, he does seem to have some good ideas and seems pretty intelligent. The more intelligent people rank for mayor, the better.
Beam me up!
To be continued.
Last week was our first playoff game, and my plaque psoriasis was so itchy under all my gear. Sometimes just thinking about scratching could take me out of the moment. And then my doctor told me I could get clearer skin with a pill called Otezla.
Otezla apremilast is a prescription medicine used to treat adult patients with plaque psoriasis for whom phototherapy or systemic therapy is appropriate. Otezla can help you get clearer skin after just 4 months.
Okay, ready for the next game. Talking to my doctor about a pill was a total game changer.
Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts. Live in the moment. Ask your doctor about Otezla. Call 1-844-4-OTEZLA or visit Otezla.com for prescribing info about cost, and more.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
Good morrow, everyone. This is The Other Side of Midnight on 77 WABC. I'm Frank Morano. Another day, another scandal involving the administration of Mayor Eric Adams. This time, Turkish-American construction executive Erden Arkan pleaded guilty to participating in a straw donor scheme to funnel illegal contributions into Adams' 2021 mayoral campaign. Arkan admitted he knowingly broke the law by reimbursing his employees for campaign donations, all to exploit New York City's controversial, at least to me, 8-to-1 public matching funds program. This plea marks the first conviction in the federal bribery case against Adams, but it certainly doesn't feel like it will be the last. Prosecutors allege that Adams personally solicited these donations at a dinner with Arkan and a Turkish diplomat in 2021. In exchange, the diplomat received fast-tracked political favors, including the expedited opening of the Turkish consulate. If this isn't the definition of pay-to-play politics, I don't know what is. Let's pause for a moment and ask, how can one mayoral administration be so brazenly corrupt? What's astounding here isn't just the scale of corruption, it's the sheer audacity. Did these people think they could get away with this forever? Now, Arkan's plea deal recommends a relatively light sentence, perhaps just 6 months in jail or less. But this is bigger than one man's punishment. The core issue is a political culture that seems to thrive on bending or outright breaking the rules. With news of more indictments potentially on the way, we're left wondering how many people in Adams' orbit, how many more people, I should say, in Adams' orbit will fall. And it's not just the individuals, it's the system. New York City's 8-to-1 matching funds program, touted as a way to level the playing field in elections, has become a playground for fraudsters. By artificially inflating donations with straw donors, candidates can rake in massive amounts of public funds. While the program's intentions might have been noble, in practice, it incentivizes schemes like this one. The people of New York deserve better. We deserve leaders who follow the law and programs that don't invite corruption. What's next in this saga? We'll find out when Adams himself faces trial in April. But one thing is clear, this administration's credibility is in tatters, and no amount of spin can change that. This isn't just a scandal for the headlines. It's a wake-up call for every New Yorker who values integrity in government, which unfortunately seems to be in increasingly short supply.
Beam me up!
To be continued.
This podcast is supported by Progressive, a leader in RV insurance. RVs are for sharing adventures with family, friends, and even your pets. So if you bring your cats and dogs along for the ride, you'll want Progressive RV insurance. They protect your cats and dogs like family by offering up to $1,000 in optional coverage for vet bills in case of an RV accident, making it a great companion for the responsible pet owner who loves to travel. See Progressive's other benefits and more when you quote RV insurance at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Pet injury is an additional coverage and subject to policy terms.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
Well, it's official. An issue that we've talked about for a long time on this program is finally moving forward. Governor Kathy Hochul is finally moving forward with efforts to ban cell phones in schools. And I, for one, think it's about time. For years, parents, teachers, and even students have been sounding the alarm about the harmful effects of constant smartphone use on kids' mental health and education. Now, New York State is poised to take action, and it's long overdue. Let's face it, cell phones have become a distraction of epic proportions in classrooms. Kids aren't just texting their friends or scrolling through TikTok. They're also being exposed to cyberbullying, addictive social media algorithms, and nonstop notifications that make it nearly impossible to focus. Governor Hochul hit the nail on the head when she said kids are spiraling. They're not paying attention in class. They're being bullied all day long. They don't have a break from it. She's absolutely right. A school day should be a safe haven for learning, not a battlefield where students are constantly plugged into the drama and noise of the outside world. This isn't just about distraction. It's about mental health. Hochul's $1 billion mental health plan, which added over 130 school-based mental health clinics, was a great first step. But as she said, we also need to address the root cause of the crisis. Smartphones have become a lifeline for many kids, but they're also a source of incredible stress. As one young woman told the governor, "You've got to save us from ourselves. We can't put it down." By the way, I think the same thing could be said for a lot of adults as well. New York wouldn't be the first state to take this step. California, Texas, Florida have already implemented similar bans. If it's working there, why not here? The evidence is clear. When students are free from the pull of their devices, they're more engaged, more present, and better able to learn. Of course, some will argue this is a draconian measure or that it's up to parents, not the government, to regulate their children's phone use. But schools have always set rules to create an environment conducive to learning. This is no different. In fact, it's necessary. For too long, we've treated cell phones as a personal freedom issue instead of what they really are, a tool that can either help or harm, depending on how they're used. And in schools, the harm far outweighs the good. Governor Hochul deserves credit, in my view, for taking this on. It's a bold move and, frankly, a political risk. But it's the right thing to do for our kids, for our teachers, and for the future of education in New York State. Let's hope this legislation passes quickly and sends a clear message in the classroom. Education comes first.
Beam me up!
To be continued.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
I am a total radio geek. Long before I was a radio commentator or talk show host, I was just a fan of radio, good old-fashioned terrestrial radio. And I still am. Still a fan of radio, listen to it all the time. And now it's official. 98.7 FM has flipped to a bilingual adult contemporary format. La Exitosa 98.7, featuring a mix of English and Spanish hits from the 80s through the 2000s. And while I can appreciate the idea of appealing to New York's vibrant and diverse communities, I can't help but feel disappointed by this move. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing inherently wrong with bilingual formats. New York is a city of many languages. A lot of culture here, a lot of different cultures, a lot of different musical tastes. But in a time when we desperately need more local information, community discussion, and real-time news, this feels like a missed opportunity. New York City is the media capital of the world, yet we're surprisingly underserved when it comes to innovative FM radio options. 98.7 could have been so much more. Imagine an FM talk station that gave New Yorkers a platform to engage with local issues, from politics to the subway system, or an all-news station that wasn't laser-focused on traffic and weather, but provided deeper, more thoughtful coverage of the city that we live in. And while we're at it, how about bringing back some of the charm of old-school radio? A station playing adult standards, Frank Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald, Tony Bennett. It would have filled a unique niche and offered something completely different from the sea of pop, rock, and hip-hop on the dial today, at least on the FM dial. Instead, MS Communications decided to take the safer, more predictable route. According to their CEO, they saw a significant opportunity to serve Spanish-speaking and bilingual audiences who are among radio's most loyal listeners. Fair enough, but it's hard not to wonder if this is just another example of corporate radio playing it too safe, choosing the easy win over something bold and imaginative. Radio used to be about taking chances, about pushing boundaries, and trying new things. Now, too often, it feels like it's about catering to demographics and chasing ad dollars. And for a city as dynamic and unpredictable as New York, that's a shame. As someone who loves radio and believes in its potential to connect, inform, and entertain, I can't help but wish for more. More innovation, more creativity, and more willingness to take risks. 98.7 FM had the chance to give New York something fresh, something that could have served as a new cultural and informational hub. Instead, we got another music station, albeit one that's bilingual. It's fine, but it's not great. It's not inspiring.
Beam me up!
To be continued.